So then, I do not remember your name, but I remember your face since yesterday. My first presentation here on the history, exactly what you asked, what you said yesterday, an objective of developing community-based tourism. And the second part is the pitfall governance framework that we encountered horizontally and also vertically impact. Strategy and policy and also regulation and law, co-investment and investment. So why we need co-investment? Why we need investment for community-based tourism? So that we should be aware of, but I don't think that will happen in Thailand, but it is the case in Cambodia. And also that some recommendation. So this is, all of you know where Cambodia is, So then I do not mention about this. So the tourism in Cambodia that regarded as tourism as system and regarded as green goal. And the community-based tourism is designed to reduce poverty, conservation, protection of natural and cultural resources. And you can see that our countries in ASEAN, especially that our tourism is based on the cultural and natural resources. And for Cambodia, tourism contributed to the GDP over 12%. So in Cambodia, only 4 prime destinations, i.e. Siem Reap Angkor, the World Heritage Site. Second, the Phnom Penh, the capital city, and coastal zone, and what I call the realm of ecotourism attraction in the northeast, where ethnic minorities and also that wildlife tourism and community-based tourism there are rich. So we have, I said that we have cultural resources, natural resources, historical resources, and built resources. I do not say man-made resort. So beside that, we have here the Great Biosphere Reserve, that the Great Lake of Great Lake, they call Tonle Sap, whereas the biggest waterbird sanctuary in Asia, and then thousands of big waterbird, crane, stork, and etc., etc. And that is what we call the fish that imported to Thailand at least tons, 100 tons to 1,000 tons every day to Thailand from this lake. So you can see that this big water birds like pelicans, stork, and cranes, and those that can be found in Tonle Sap Lake, and also in southwest of Cambodia and the northeast. And also we have Mekong, the river dolphin, like Thailand, and also that here I come to the community-based tourism development. So now, in this, we are the government of Cambodia in 2004, but in fact we did it before that, because we want to contribute the economy to reduce the poverty at rural, remote, disadvantaged area. So then, the word pro-poor, I think that people just created the terminology, and some of us in ASEAN that I I always talk to many people in ASEAN. I said, what do you mean? How do you define ecotourism? How do you define homestay? How do you define community-based tourism in ASEAN? And we are in different contexts. We need to define our own definition. Sometimes this is Western created in no so then we need to have our own. So that's why in Cambodia we need to think about livelihood first, sustainable livelihood. And also, like our Buddha say, 3,000 almost 3,000 years ago, he said, stomach first. Before you conserve, before you bring the food to pagoda, to the monk, you have to give to your parent first. That is your real God. So exactly here, before you you conserve, you do anything, but you need to think about the people who live in the local community. How can they benefit from the development of community-based tourism? So then we think about sustainable livelihood, community-based tourism, ecotourism, and ecosystem services. So that is what is the services provided in the community within the ecological size. So you can see here, so green tourism, it's the initiative of community-based tourism that we need to, that we talk about the green tourism development, which contribute to poverty reduction, conservation, protection of natural and cultural heritage. Growth of tourism revenue is insufficient. How can local benefit from tourism development or local socio-economic growth and poverty alleviation? So, and how can initiative of green development further contribute to conservation and protection of our treasure, natural and cultural resources, especially the climate change? So in this, Cambodia set up many policy in order to implement, like example, my minister and the government of Cambodia set up clean city, clean resort good service, one tourist, one tree, in order to do the green. Oh, I have 10 minutes, so I better jump. So I better jump. So then there's a lot on here, but I will talk from here. So then I think I will have much time to talk. In this, the government of Cambodia make a great effort in developing the National Tourism Strategic Plan, National Tourism Policy, ministerial regulation on control and governance of tourism industry operation, including on the accommodation, catering, tour guiding services, massage parlor, karaoke, beer garden, bar and pub, etc. and etc. So the Ministry of Tourism provided by the law that will license services related to tourism. So, and the main one, the most fundamental one is law of tourism. The law of tourism that provide the jurisdictional powers to the Ministry of Tourism to control, govern the industry operation. So in this, we can see that the vitality of the community-based tourism development is really ongoing, and we are in process of developing the national CBT ecotourism policy and strategic plan, law on the management of community-based tourism and ecotourism, and law on the management of entertainment services. And then we have many regulations, including royal decree, sub-decree, and regulation by our minister, and especially that we have accreditation, standardization, or certification or classification of the community-based tourism product, in which to ensure the quality of services and product as maintained is acceptable. So then also in plan that we are doing this. So now, what are the pitfalls of investment and and co-investment? You know, I must please apologize that I may take a little longer because this is so important to share. You may have heard about GPAT. Some of you here in this room may heard about GPAT. GPAT is a community-based ecotourism in southwest of Cambodia, which is a wide range of cardamom rainforest. The rainforest in southwest, in Sokhom, which is adhere to Trat province in Thailand. So in GPAT, the mine, you know, tourism has also not enemy, but some kind of competitors, challengers, I say. So then the mine people, they come and said, oh, there's titanium mines under the ground. So then the mine cost $500 billion. If you take the mines out, Cambodia can have $500 billion. So an NGO that working on the GPAT try to do advocacy in order to protect the forest. So then she came also to my minister, to Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fishery, Minister and Environment. So remember that all ministers already agree except for Minister of Tourism, Minister of Environment, Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fishery. They do not agree. So then, luckily, our Prime Minister said, no, it's so beautiful. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Keep it. So then, you know that this community-based tourism can earn only $100,000. But why you can imagine that 500 or up to $1,500 billion for the titanium mine, and the government decided to keep this forest. And then I thanks our Prime Minister to keep the forest. And this is one, that we need to have law on the management or governance of community-based tourism and ecotourism. Why you say about policy or standard or regulation? I say no. You know why? Because these instrument has no jurisdictional power to protect. They only just an overnight instrument that cannot protect. If you have law, before the law can be abrogated or nullified, then you have to go to the majority vote in the National Assembly or in the Parliament. That's why we need to have law to protect our people, our local people, for their benefit, long-term benefit, and sustainable livelihood. Second example that we need to be aware of, in Koh. So the Koh is a community-based tourism in the Mekong River. So why developing? Why developing? The wealthy man, he bought the land right in the middle, in the heart of the island, and they compete with the local people. This not just happen in Thailand or maybe in other country, but Cambodia. So when you compete with the community, you know, they build like boutique guest houses, and they provide also biking service and catering. So you're competing against the locals. So how can you ensure sustainability of community-based tourism? You know, I think that Thailand was ahead of us in terms of democracy. The centralization and the concentration to local government also, I do not say a problem, but I think there is something come to our mind to consider. When you give too much power to someone, and then someone can do something within their own jurisdiction, within their own territory, within their responsibility. So, the Busra, the waterfall, is so beautiful. It's so beautiful waterfall. So then this so beautiful waterfall also privatized to a company. And the local community, the ethnic minority. So what we want to do, and my minister, he wrote back to me because he asked my recommendation. I said, this company must employ locals, must respect the environmental principle. 1, 2, 3 about the discharge of wastewater and waste management, so on and so forth. So this is within the governor's hand. You cannot touch. So this is something that I would like to share. So we planned here, and you know that I go back a little to what I have said. Community-based tourism development in Cambodia first happened by environmental NGOs, local and international. They just protect, and community-based tourism of Cambodia born from community forestry community, fishery community, not just community-based tourism. So later on, when they protect, they conserve. And then you know what? No income. Another example in Chamba, run by a local NGO. First time, those people in those areas, they only cut the tree to make charcoal. So then they conserve the forest. So the cultural livelihood is cutting the tree. So what can you do to help those people? By providing the livelihood alternative. They do not think about that. So later on, they pick up tourism as a tool to generate, augment the national income or revenue to the local people. So I think that we together we can do green tourism and also to contribute to poverty reduction and or green tourism. Please give me maybe 5 minutes more. I know his time is approaching. And poverty is not destiny, either or misfortune. So we must hand in hand combat poverty and also together advocate the protection and conservation of for environmentally sustainable and socially responsible tourism. So here, what we have gathered, and like I said, Singapore has a good excuse to make because they got no community at all, so they could not attend. But we have a goodwill from the government of Brunei. They also came to make a comment on our standard. So I was the main speaker for the community-based standard because I know where the sore is. I know where's the pain in your body, so we can cure. I do not want to see someone pain in the arm, but they cure in the leg. So there is many problem. So here that many speakers from different, from Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand, Laos, and here are the speakers. So they Vietnam, and you know that this is the key message from the workshop I would like to share. We can see that it has much similarity in CBT principle in country presentation, because we ask each country to do presentation for the CBT in its own country. And difference lies in the implementation and emphasis as community-based tourism development experience varies from country to country. Of course, even a house to a house, a head to a head also different, because we have different mindset, different view, different thought. Some countries have advanced policy law and regulation for CBT. This need to be further consolidated and shared among ASEAN countries. So, it's a perfect example. Today we get the gathering here. And link between CBT, poverty reduction, and conservation of natural cultural heritage was consistent. A theme need to be explicit in introduction to the standards. Standard need to be sufficiently flexible and to enable country application that is appropriate to governance system. Some country has example of grant funding like Thailand, but in Indonesia also that they support like $100,000 to village tourism. I heard from the presentation, I'm not sure, because your Indonesian delegate said that $100,000 to each village tourism, but not just Cambodia. And I do support that previous speaker since yesterday, and that the government need to subsidize the development of the community-based tourism. So I see in some presentation from the speaker yesterday that you said own. So I do not say own, because I'm legal professional. I say empower. Empower local community, not owned by the community. Empower community to manage, to develop. Even when you say own, it means ownership. Ownership, it means that people, the local people can sell, because his own property. So then I say empower the management and development of community to local people. So that's why we say empower local community with knowledge, removal and barrier, and show option and support from the government and local government. And need for reinforcement, teaching lessons, follow-up training, law and law enforcement are required to underpin CBT principle. We need law. We cannot only have, but from the standard, it's a good reference to each country to have their own law. And good example of CBT homestay exists, perhaps in ASEAN and UNWTO could sponsor best practice book, concern for cultural impact and tourists on pro-poor minority culture in particular. Careful preparation of community is needed, and their empowerment to manage their tourism in the future. Management and understanding of supply chain marketing is needed. Strengthening network among CBT of ASEAN countries, such as study tour. Strengthening institutional linkages among CBT stakeholder, government, community, private sector stakeholder, educational institute, and NGO promote of CBT by ASEAN. Thank you.